Ilkeston Town TV, sponsored by Aerocom. I'm here at the Bill Stokell Stadium after today's 2-0 pre-season friendly win against Ilkeston Town with the Ilkeston Town joint manager, Andy Clerke.
Hello.
Andy, first time I've said that when I've been interviewing you.
It is, yeah.
How does it feel in your new role?
It's good, yeah. We're settling down well. Don't actually feel like too much has changed. You know, me, Mark and Tom have worked really close a couple of years now, so it's a slightly different badge, but you know, we work as a three, and yeah, it's good. We're happy.
I was going to ask you about that because, of course, over the last 2 years, you've taken it in turns to do these interviews.
Yeah,
the three of you,
yeah.
And it's been very much, certainly my impression, that it was although you had different titles, it was a threesome in charge of the team. Is that still the same position?
Yeah, I suppose slightly different. So previously, obviously, Mark and Tom were joint managers. I was the assistant. But you know, we did make those decisions as a team. But they get the final say if we didn't all agree.
Yeah.
And I think things are good now. So I think where things are, myself and Mark are joint managers.
Yeah.
But Tommy, you know, has got such experience in the game. He's got a slightly different title now as director of football at Carlton. But you know, he still wants to be close to the football, close to the action, close to the lads. And you won't want to lose that experience in your club either. So yeah, it's a transition, slightly different for everybody, but it's going really well.
So picking the team on a Saturday, that's the job of you and Mark, I take it.
Yeah, absolutely. But you know,
and Tommy's kind of role within all of that these days, help the supporters out who've seen him around, but he's now director of football. What does that involve here? Sorry.
I mean, this club's ambitious, so you know we're looking at how we progress the football club. So Tommy's role as director of football will really start to look at how do we evolve the club. You know, I said recently to somebody, you know, the work that's gone on behind the scenes pre-season from the supporters, the maintenance teams around the club. You know, a lot of what Tommy's then driving to try and grow the club and be ready for a point where hopefully we can push and look beyond just step 4. And to do that, the club needs to evolve. So Tommy's role will be critical in the growth and development of the club and the more strategic side of the club in terms of where we want to get to alongside the committee, Mick and Dave. However, you know, with myself and Mark, we still want Tommy very much involved in the football side. You know, that third voice, that experience. There'll be times when me and Mark don't always agree. So it's always good to have a bit of a referee just to pull us back down as well. So, no, you know, I'm really happy with how it's transitioning. And I think it's great for the football club that the three of us are still involved, first of all. And I think it'll work really well in terms of how we move forward.
So we talked about today, we played a side that I would have thought, looking at their performances over the last couple of years, will be challenging in the mix for promotion from step 3 to step 2. And we've won 2-0, and that result didn't flatter us at all in any way.
No, we were good today. But look, I've known Deeks and Swinney a long time and Lefty, and they'll be ready. You know, pre-season will be for them about getting minutes in the tank like it is ourselves. None of us have got 3 points out of today. None of us have progressed into another round of an FA competition. It's good minutes. It's, you know, it's nice to, you know, to get a result and keep a clean sheet. But we'll be under no illusions that doesn't mean anything. The most important thing is getting ready for August the 9th when we kick our season off.
One of the things I've noticed, Andy, about this pre-season campaign compared to the last 2 or 3 is that we haven't had a load of trialists in the team. We've had a couple, but it's been very much last year's squad in the main, plus you brought in 3 or 4 new players, and that's been it. Has that been a deliberate decision, or has it just been something as a result of circumstances, not being able to bring in trialists?
No,
what it might
been deliberate. So, you know, a couple of seasons ago, we had a lot of trialists at the club. When the club had a challenging season the year before. We spoke about the Great Escape.
We did,
and that meant that the club needed to very quickly evolve. And I can always remember that first presentation I came to ahead of my first season. Tommy said, next season we'll be young, we'll be hungry. And we probably took a few gambles and they came off. But that group of players has been together, other than a little tweak, for the last couple of years now. So first priority was retaining the squad, which we've done to a man. And the second priority was, what are the gaps that we need to fill? We haven't scored enough at the top end of the pitch, and that's not on any individual wearing that number 9 shirt. It's been about, you know, how we play into that part of the pitch and how we work that part of the pitch, and equally what competition's there. So it was really important that we went out and got some goal scorers, which we've done with Ash Chambers and Kieran Watson. And then Ewan Robson became available from Sherwood Colliery that we've known and liked for a couple of years. You know, good energy, box-to-box midfield, can play at the back as well.
Well, he impressed against us last season.
Yeah, he did impress against us. And Sav, bless him, he dropped me a lovely message after we brought Ewan in to say look after him. He spoke so highly of him. And he's been, you know, his service at Sherwood's the equivalent of Niall Davies at Carlton.
Yeah.
So, you know, he wanted just to freshen things up. And unfortunately, with Sherwood's relegation, we was a good option for him. And we're looking forward to working with all three of them. We've had a trialist involved today. Going back to the original question, so first priority was keeping the squad. Second priority was what are the little gaps that we need to try and improve, which is where we've recruited him. And the third part of it was, I want lads to have good minutes in pre-season. So we didn't need to have 9 friendlies. We've got half a dozen friendlies.
Yeah.
But lads will have more minutes in those 6 friendlies than, with the greatest respect, wasting 20 minutes and 30 minutes here and there on lads that are never going to be quite at the level. So that doesn't mean that Carlton's a closed shop. It just means that for this year, we were very clear on where we needed to be and what we needed to do. And that's what we've set out, and that's what we're halfway or 2/3 of the way through doing.
And final question, Andy. What's the hope or the expectations from you and Mark for the coming season in our new division, Northern Premier League Midlands?
Well, we've desperately tried to keep Tommy from announcing big plans for the year and the pressure on myself and Mark. But look, we want to be competitive. You know, we want to make sure that for this group of players, the supporters, and this football club, with half a dozen games to go, we've got something to go after. And whether that is pushing to lift a pot, whether that's pushing to get into a playoffs, we've been in a league that we've, you know, been frustrated in for a couple of years. We've always deemed that to be a really strong Step 4 league.
Yeah.
I'm under no illusions. Football changes quick. And I think that Midland League is going to be a hell of a league next season. You know, the likes of Baseford and Mickleover dropping down.
Yeah.
You know,
Long Eaton,
Corby. Yeah. Long Eaton, you know, nearly went down 2 years ago. They had a similar great escape, just stayed up. Playoffs the next season. That's how quickly football changes. So I think we're in for a belter of a season. I think it'll be a fantastic league, and we want to be in the mix. And we'll, you know, talk to me again in February, March, and I might be a little bit stronger with my view on what my expectation is.
Well, I'll probably be talking to you about 3 weeks at rugby, Andy.
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
before then, thank you so much, sir.
Thank you. Cheers.